not show up on yours? Girl.
I know you're live on YouTube.
Yep.
You're not live on here yet.
Huh?
Not live on here yet.
For real?
Yeah. Mom, do you have any apps open?
Probably.
Hello, this is Terrence and Cheryl Moore. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to our YouTubers. The scholar and the practitioner. Definitely, I'm the practitioner.
I'm the scholar. And right now they're mad at me because I said do I have apps open?
You just had apps open.
What's up, D? What's up, Delva?
I can't see, and why can't I see?
Oh my gosh. This when you deal with 13-year-olds.
Oh,
My goodness.
what did I do wrong?
What? For real?
Well, you tagged me, but it didn't show up on my page, I don't think. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Why is it upside down on my page?
It's not upside down, it's right side, dear.
Yeah.
All right. I think you should be live now, Mom.
We'll see.
You should
We'll
see
see,
me
we'll see.
moving my stuff around.
Oh yeah, we might have to rearrange. We may have to pause and stop it or something. Because this is how it's being showed.
Oh.
All right, we'll be right back as we deal with these technical difficulties.
All right. Tom, I'm still here. I just got to fix it. I'm just working. I'm working on something real quick.
Why can't we just leave my phone the way it was yesterday?
Oops.
Because then we would have to set it up differently.
Am I
Well,
ready for timeout?
We're good. Thanks, y'all. At least we're good on YouTube, but we're trying to get it right on Facebook.
Delete post. Something wrong. Says
Technical difficulty. You know that there's a whole lot of stuff that's been going on with technology all day today. Because I went to Stop by Store and it's like, yeah, we have problems today too.
How come I can't even delete this post?
We have a few people on YouTube. They're just starting to log in now.
All right. It's not working for the sideways because it's. If I turn it sideways, it's going to be like the way it showed up on here.
All right, well, good.
So just lean it up somewhere. No problem.
Okay.
Why don't I just see if I can lean it right here?
If I turn it sideways, it's going to be like the way it showed up.
Yeah, this is funny. At least you're getting it like totally live where that everybody's hearing everything we're saying.
Everyone just saw my face, by the way.
Oh no,
Oh.
you no, you're gonna. That totally defeats the purpose.
Hi, everybody.
Turn it back. No, you have to turn it back, dear.
No, I'll move around because I'm holding it.
No, hold on. Do this, and just look at this way.
Oh, okay. All right. So you just want me to put it down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just need to follow comments. All right. So what are they singing here?
Girl, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Cheryl, I tried to help. What are you doing?
This is the way he gave it to me.
Oh,
So what do you want me to do?
Lord. Whatever's going to make it right. Whatever's going to help you.
All right.
This is how it's looking on Facebook, dear.
Oh, I see it. So how does it look on Facebook now? You should see me.
Now.
All right.
I am so glad that y'all patient.
Thank you for being patient. I'm an educator. I teach online. We're doing this live because of Priscilla. I'm ready to get started. Give me some type of sign that you can hear me okay, and that we're ready to go. I'm going to be on a few minutes with Pastor Terrence or Terrence
Hey, Troy.
Marketplace.
Hey, Priscilla.
Thanks
Hi,
for joining.
Pastor King.
Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, okay, great. You can hear us. Feed me. Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh.
He said, feed me.
You know what? You starting to do too much now. Because now you're gonna have to really put it on here to see me.
Oh, Okay. So here you go. There you go. There we go. All right. I was trying to do, you can tell I'm an educator. I had Terrence get some flip chart because I was going to show a couple of things behind me. And I don't know how we're going to move around, but let me give you a few tips.
At least YouTube can see everything. They're seeing everything raw.
One of the things that's very important when you are a business owner and you are a believer, and we are believers, we believe in Jesus Christ our Lord. Right now, we're just going to decree and declare that what we are doing is in the will of God, and it is the creative way for his people to obtain knowledge, understanding, and we pray for opportunities and for a creative portal to be open right now as we just extend out wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in Jesus' name. So thanks. And if you're on live and you know individuals that are interested, that are believers, or those who are just non-believers that this might pull them in, this is going to be based on business and your own personal business. One of the things is more about you. Today, I wanted to talk about value proposition.
Yep.
And one of the things that's really, let me tell you about value proposition and what that means for you, especially if you aspire to have a business, if you want to be a business. People get frustrated with the language. Not only do they get frustrated with the language, they get frustrated with the idea of having to continuously write things down. Mm-hmm. They have it in their head. They have it how they want it to run. But when someone tells them, put together a plan, write it down for me, it frustrates. It's one of the main potholes and what stops us from doing our purposes because we're afraid to write it. We can't express it and we cannot put it into words. Am I telling the truth? If I am, then you are in the right place. Give me some hearts or say yes or something so I'll know that that makes sense to you. Or they're speaking above your head and not simplifying things and making it very complicated. I'm going to go ahead and say, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and say this to you as to why. One of it is it can be broken down. It does not have to be that difficult. It does not have to come in 40, 50 pages, but it is also a concept and a technique to keep and to control the population of the prosperity. Right. Y'all hear what I'm saying? It is to control, because as long as you're limited, then you will stay in that vein of limitation. So it controls, and that's why the top is small and the bottom is large. So for value proposition, I teach this to my students and I teach this to owners. I'm big on it because I've seen it at organizational designs or large organizations. Before I went full-time into academia, I was had my own firm for over 12 years. Mm-hmm. And for organization and development, went in, turned companies in Milwaukee upside down, put order to them, and partnered with a tremendous woman that kind of led me into entrepreneurship. My mentor, one of my mentors, and she was actually on the live and offered to be a mentor. So I'm definitely hoping that Lynn,
that's going to be awesome.
That Lynn is going to be awesome to give the secrets and the techniques of what it means. She's my sister from another mother, and she taught me how to navigate through the system in being a minority. So now let me say this to you. Behind me, because I am a bona fide, I love to teach. There are some things I had. I don't know how we're going to do this, okay, because I'm an instructor, so I got to move around.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
So I made my little flip chart on value proposition. No matter what you're doing and whether or not you don't have a business in an LLC or Inc., which I said that you need that, there are three parts, and I'm going to tell you these three. In a value proposition, you need your personal pitch, your product pitch, and you need a double brand. What am I saying? I'm meaning the value proposition that you have. Your pitch should be about 60 seconds to 2 minutes. It's called the elevator speech. A lot of you may have heard of it. The product pitch and the personal pitch are separate. You have to make a decision that after this product, is there life after the product? Y'all hear what I'm saying? Is there life after the product? Then there's the double brand. The double brand comes out of number one and number two. If you want a double brand. If you just want to make money from your product, it's not going to work because this personal pitch gives you credibility. The double branding comes in that once the product is no longer available or maybe the market is low, you as a double brand, you now have a brand, you become the brand from what you produce. Does that make sense? You need to tell me that, if that makes sense. I'm used to people talking about it. You become the brand out of the product, okay? So with that being said, what am I saying? I'm saying that you need an exit plan to live after a product. A product should never determine what you can produce. So let's say, here's a mug that Terrence got me being funny, my leap year mug. And this was my product that I created. If this is, where you want me to slide it to?
If you want them to see it.
If this is the product that I created, then, okay, let's say I've had 500. There is more to this product than just me selling a mug. It's something that I created. And so when we start creating products, we start creating music, we start writing, we have to think about ownership. And everybody who's an entrepreneur, everybody who's an owner is not an entrepreneur.
Very true.
An entrepreneur is not someone.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Is not someone who is self-employed. That's the first thing you need to understand. Everybody self-employed is not an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. If the business dies, when you leave, when you die, the business dies, you're not an entrepreneur. You need to decide what you want to do. You need to decide whether or not this is going to be long-term or short-term. How do you want to build this business? If you don't have a brand, you are part of this. This is a product you created. Whatever you created is something that came out of you, and that needs to be a brand. What we are doing is helping you to jumpstart. So in that, it means that although I created the mug, this was by Cheryl. This is by Cheryl. So my brand, it came out of me. So let's say he said, hey, I saw that you did this mug. Can you help me? That is not me saying, okay, come here, let me help you. That's saying that this brand is now helping him. You have to keep them separate or you're going to lose money. You have to keep them separate. When it comes to extending your knowledge is a product. That's the one thing I want you to catch. Your knowledge is product, okay? And if you believe that, somebody give me hearts. If you get what I'm saying, give me some hearts. Give me click just one time. Just let me know. Your knowledge is product. Thank you. You cannot. And
make sure you're sharing this. I hate to say it because I'm going to tell you.
You cannot go around and say, I need this. This was my idea. Well, the way I made my cup is I ordered empty cups. I got some paint brushes. What you're doing is teaching and you're giving knowledge for free. Why is that important? Because if you ever decide to sell your business, then they also need to purchase not only the product, they need to purchase what? The process. So this is what I'm talking about, branding. You have to build your brand of your knowledge, your brand of experience, and then what you have produced. You are a brand that produces. So keep them separate, okay? Does that make sense to you? Somebody say yes or no.
Because, if you hear a little bit more on a practical side, now, if you have the brand, you and the product combined, when it's time to sell the product, they're also thinking that they're selling you, that you've been sold to. And when you create something else, it's going to be very hard to separate the two. So as she said, you're creating the mug, but then all of a sudden you want to create an app. If you don't separate the two, they will always connect you to the mug. If they need to see you as a brand, they need to see you separated. Right. So every time they see you, they're going, okay, he or she created the mug. He or she created an app. He or she created something else. because the last thing you want to happen is that it's almost like they identify you only as one thing. Remember, if let's say a child star, Todd Bridges, Different Strokes. He was doing Different Strokes for years, or even Dana Plato doing Different Strokes for years. Yes, I am aging myself. Doing it for years. When it was time for them when Different Strokes ended and it was time for them to move on, they were typecast. They were only connected to Different Strokes. So when it was time for them to create something else, to go into another type of role, they could not be separated. So that's why it's very important for you to separate the brand of you and to separate the brand of the product.
And I hear a question in somebody's spirit, how do I start doing that then? Especially if you don't have the product complete. You need to start offering opportunities. Number one, your product needs a separate page, even whether it's on Instagram, right, Facebook, even if it's the idea page. It needs to be separate. Everything, if you have a product line, that's different than if you have a brand. How do I say this?
Straightforward.
Okay. You sure? All right.
No chaser.
Okay, in the classroom, I'll do it. Okay, hold on. What bugs me most, especially with faith-based believers or pastors, we put all this stuff out on our page. And when we put stuff out on our page, we're giving away knowledge without our brand. Y'all. Now it becomes
the fun part.
This is the scholar in me coming out. Okay, and I've watched this where you're saying whether it's God quotes. Every pastor should have a coaching page or a pay. If you have been pastoring 1 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, then you brand that because that's experience for a planter. I'm talking. And so bringing that to another page or another platform, a blog or Instagram, is money producing for you to start coaching those up and coming. I even faulted myself once I found this out and I got more into academia to understand when I was going on my tenure route, the different levels of being a freshman, a junior, and a senior for full professorship, that there were branding points in there. And we miss that in different markets. So you say something real profound, some revelation, it's sticking there on all of your friends list for people to just feast off of for free or feast off without building a following. Stop looking for fans and find your followers.
Right.
And do that in building your personal brand. If it's knowledge, don't discount it. And can I just share a small testimony? Just a little bit. One of the things that I told Pastor Terrence to stop doing is to stop putting Kairos all over his personal pages.
Right.
Because it started to dilute. There are multiple, if you're a person, and stop making people tell you you're double-minded and you don't know what you want to do. A person who's a business-minded individual for the marketplace has multiple streams. And so if you are a writer, but then you also, you're a writer, or you produce music, or you like doing motivational talks for 60-second points, those are all separate entities that need separate followers.
Right.
And you need to base followers and stop looking for fans. So in that, posting all of these tremendous things on your personal page for your friends to enjoy is not going to feed you.
No, and so what I did was, when it has to do with Kairos, or when it has to do with Kairos or anything that's spiritual, I put a little bit of it, but not enough for someone to digest.
Is this making sense to y'all? Or are we wasting our time? Y'all kind of quiet.
But it's not enough to digest, because I wanted to make sure that that those who are not connected like that don't get anything free.
Right. Okay. Apostle King, tell us, what do you want us to say again?
So other things are posted on the Kairos page. As it relates to what I do as a developer, then I put just a little bit of that
Okay, thanks, James.
put a little bit of that on my personal page, but a lot of the other things goes on my other business page of T. Reagan and Associates. So that's where you get the finance insights, you get the behavioral economic insights, you get a different aspect of how the market is being reacting to, especially with this virus. So a lot of that is going, and also how people are reacting. Why is that called? Why are people just doing things without even thinking? All that is on another page.
Right. So what I had him to do, did I invoice you for that? I can't remember.
That was pro bono.
What you're doing, you have your friends in your personal page that needs to become residual follower technology. It's like residual income. Okay. Mm-hmm. These are the people on your personal page may read it. The why are we doing and moving you to say do either, and not so much a fan page as a business page.
Right.
Why? Because that would give you the opportunity to boost and then generate different states. So if you have a product, it's a different algorithm altogether. And so that way you can pull, whether it's something you said, and I'm going to give you a key example. I invited all of and I already knew this. I was just waiting because I knew I had some books, 2 books coming out this year. Or 3 at this point. But anyway, I knew that. So I had a Legacy Pen blog for a few years. I waited until my birthday to pull out and I wanted to make sure I had some publications coming out before I decided to do a Legacy Pen page on Facebook. I only paid my little $10 and I had over 1,000 likes from multiple countries that I've taught in and visited and things that I've done on that one, and picked up subscribers, had people sending me DMs, inboxing me for more information, and my blog is the one that got the biggest hit. I'm trying to tell you.
How many posts did you make?
And I only did 1 post. I'm kind of late right now.
Because it was strategic.
Because I was very strategic about it.
It wasn't done on a whim.
Having your friends does not give you the boost to produce.
Ooh, having your friends does not give you the boost to produce.
Right. Did y'all get that?
Not consume.
Even if you don't,
produce.
If you're going to say, I feel this because I'm prophetic. Okay, I can't turn it off. Don't sit on this live and say, but I don't have it. I got to get it together. If you have a name or if you have a product, go ahead. And then this is, okay, I don't know what. Okay, y'all stop pulling on me. This is what you're going to do. Even though the product is not complete, let's say you want to start your own business. You want to start, somebody here starting their own agency. Go ahead and remember, your knowledge is a product. Go ahead and build a page to share that knowledge of your industry knowledge, your experience knowledge,
right? And
then you already have a base to bring the product up. Does that make sense to you guys? Hit me up. I'm an educator. I want feedback in the class.
Because also what that does is once you start the page, something that entrepreneur on the inside of you is going to begin to say, okay, I really got to get something done now because I'm out there now. Right. I can't stop it. It's already out there, and it's going to go. And you're going to go. I have to start putting things. I have to start creating content. Now you have no excuse not to move forward.
Right. When we look at the world, the world is moved by information. And we are now moving, we are forced on the digital platform. So go ahead, even if the product is not complete, you may have the industry experience when it comes to financial well-being, when it comes to long-term care, when it comes to HR. That's my big wheelhouse in profession, HR, organization management. All of these things are key into you until you get it up. Now, and then you invite people to like that page, but you can boost it for $5. Target your areas,
right.
Target your state, your cities. Hey, and you can move from there in different ways to boost it and drive that based on the content that you carry, The product may pass away, but you are the content expert.
Exactly.
Okay. When it comes to whether it's not, and I had to tell Terrence, everything, you are going to be a walking Kairos if you don't learn
to separate
and start you have to learn to multiply you. If let's say you're in the healthcare industry, with all of the stuff that's going on, you should already had your own page up of just quotes and whatever insight you have. People will follow that. And it's not just from your neighborhood. It's a huge base that I was so afraid of in terms of my life, and being afraid that no one's going to listen, no one is interested. And the world was much bigger than what I ever perceived. So that's why I put up on there on your value proposition. And I know sometimes when you go to these business classes, it make it so complicated. I'm simplifying it because you need the product, whether that's your knowledge, your experience, or an actual physical product. Okay?
Now, you may think that, okay, well, if I keep separating everything, then people are not going to really know who I am. But the reality of it is, you're going to be called by the area that your brand is needed. So in my case, I'm in business development. I'm in the entrepreneurship circle. In that sphere, I'm also in business capital. I'm in that sphere. I'm also a pastor. Here's what will happen when you're in one sphere. They're going to call you. If you are needed in that one sphere, they're not going to, if they need me in the capital sphere, they're not going to call the pastor. They're going to call the person who knows capital.
Right.
I'm in the pastor sphere, depending on the situation, they're not going to call on the person who's the brand of the capital. They're going to call on the pastor. But what ends up happening over time, those two brands will coincide, and now, hey, I'm in the capital sphere. Hey, I heard that you're a pastor.
Right.
Now that need for their lives calls on that brand, that part of me. And then I begin to have a conversation, and it turns into prayer. Or the flip side, I'm on a pastor side, doing what I do as a pastor, as an apostolic leader. What does that mean? Now they go, oh, I heard that you deal with business capital. This is what I've been planning or thinking about doing as an entrepreneur. That because what is in them is calling out to me, calling out to my brand as it relates to capital. Now that is drawn out. So those fears and those two circles will cross only when your brand is needed.
So let me also address this part, because this is probably the HR part of me. I have over the years dealt with pastors, and this is something I also
we're going to have to wrap this because we don't want to get into too much.
Right, because it's already 7:29. It's supposed to be a 30-minute class, Priscilla. Well, I'm a pastor.
Who's also a teacher.
I'm a pastor, right? And when people see that on a resume, they think that you just preach. No. The mistake you're making is that and I know this is going to sound, but I'm a businesswoman. The fact is that you're putting on your pastor. What you need to be touting is that you are a community and civic engagement leader.
You still have the title of pastor.
Did y'all hear what I said?
You still have the title of pastor.
Ask me if you want me to repeat it, because I'm not. You should have been listening the first time.
Should you repeat it?
What if I give you a quiz?
For $5.99, it can be repeated. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
This is going to open up doors to get you on various boards, especially if you're a planter. Opening up, getting your name out there. And then in the description, you say Pastor XYZ, and what you have done, whether you have planted, developed, you've overseen financials, put financial planning together, analysis, I've been in the middle of mediation, community engagement. Y'all hear what I'm saying? This is the part because you have to look at you're building leverage. Your platform is leverage from that. And even if it's seasonal with a food product, you're building leverage for that season. Let's say you have a seasonal business. You still need to run a page. And in the off season, You need to say, this is what XYZ people should be doing.
Right.
This is what they should do to clean their grills. This is what they should do. You're educating your followers, because then you're building individuals that are faithful to what you have to say and what you have to offer. But the biggest avenue is, if a pastor is in office of authority, you are an authoritarian and an expert in however you have built that church, whether it is in the political sense, looking at, you're expert at assessing the community climate. Y'all hear that word? You should write it down, because I am expert at words and I know what it takes. So you need to write it down. You are expert at looking at community climate, okay? And then having your page, and if you have a specific objective, if you want to bring something and highlight it, create an information page so that people who are already on your friend list can follow you, and you can boost that for the area that you serve, and you can reach more that are not coming through your door, but they hear your voice. And then you're building that brand. Your product is your knowledge, and it is also your ability to articulate and to regulate. What is going on is there are too many gaps in information filtering down. Just like I'm on here saying now about value proposition and building that 60-second elevator speech. If you have, and you know that's a recipe from grandma, you don't go in there and say, well, how did you get in this? Well, when I was a little boy, my grandmother, I used to watch her make the sauce. And no, the person doesn't want to hear all of that. They want to know your name and what are you doing now?
The expert part. This
is a generational recipe. It's been handed down, and I'm now at the forefront of making this product. 60 seconds.
Less.
I don't even know how many seconds that was.
I would say definitely you would be like community builder, strategist, visionary. And because your title doesn't really even encompass all of that, but because I know you, those are the words that come to me. Those are the things that you have to tout. That community builder, strategist, visionary, because that encompasses a whole lot, and you can really go to town just from there.
Right. So we need to just wrap, because this is just starting. Okay, I gotta go through my posters.
No, they can. Okay. You can catch this next week.
Does anybody have a question you would want to post that we can answer? Oh, no questions. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Let me tell you about a business.
No, you can't do that. No, not this week.
No. I just want to go over my thing. Oh my goodness. I'm a teacher. All right, you have to turn this on. You have a question? Go ahead and post it. Apostle King. I will answer your question. So on this, I hope you can see it. What is a business canvas? You actually can go to a strategizer link. Can you move in? What is the business canvas? Don't allow somebody to upset you or get fearful when they ask you about building what is your business canvas. This is how we build the business proposition off of a canvas, and it's a strategizer link, and I'm hoping we can put it in the stream or in the chat. So what is it? It's actually just a place or a platform to create. A lot of people get stuck by words, and I know we have to go. Well, how do I know how to market my product? Because there's so much out there. Here's your product, okay? Somebody put in the chat, give me your product. I'm getting ready to build one for you. So if you're quick, you better put your product in there, or either I'm going to cut off the live. Y'all need to move a little faster. Let me know if somebody put in their product. Tell me your product, and I'll start it.
They're so slow.
Okay.
Not your service. You want to do the service too?
Anything. I don't care what it is. Oh, hi. Assembly. Cleaning company. Thank you.
Cleaning company.
Okay.
Congratulations, Joyce. What you still got butterfly cleaners?
We have the cleaning company. What is your customer base? I don't know. What is your customer base? Okay. We have
Orlando, yes, it can be.
What?
can this be used to be a proposal for startup capital?
This is the start of the proposal. This is the key. And what we're telling you tonight, a value proposition, is the meat to the proposal. Your cleaning company is the product. So you go and you, I guess you probably clean. Now, I'll say, what if she says, who's my customer base?
Ooh, Delva missed on the Clearview.
All right. If you say your customer base are commercial facilities, or I'm just going to say her customer base are houses. Okay. I'm just being generic right now for the sake of time. The key that every business owner struggles with is that people will ask you for your business proposal is, how are you different? Why they're asking you is to see if you know what makes you different. You are not going to be, first of all, the word of God said there's nothing new under the sun. So you have to figure out what's the differentiating point you want out of the market. Now she says houses. Then how do I know what my differentiating point is? You then have to figure out, how are you the pain reliever? What is your pain pill? So that's how I teach it. I teach it to my students so they can get it, because somebody else would talk above your head so you would understand what they want so they can disqualify you. My product, I go clean houses. And what is this? Here, what's your pain reliever? Well, I noticed that most people that go and clean residential houses, they go after the market of the people who want it done in the daytime while at work. I want to do the midnight. I want to do it for people who don't sleep at night and who run their businesses and who pull all-nighters,
or work from home,
They
don't need all of that
and don't need all that distraction. I want to do it in reverse. That's filling in a gap in the market. So you're the pain pill, you're the pain reliever. What are you offering? Or you can say, I completely use an organic line of cleaning products. Then that's your pain reliever. Here's the other thing. You never want more than 3 pain relievers. You, as a new business, if your business is only 1 to 3 years old, you need 1 pain reliever. If it's 2, you need 2 pain, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 2 pain relievers. 7 to 10, 3 pain relievers. You don't need all those pain relievers. You need consistency. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, consistency. For barbecue and catering business, if you're not making your own barbecue, you need to partner with a barbecue sauce. You need to partner with those that you would use tools and say that, and that can market. Let them do that. And they will do that for minority specific businesses for sure. If you're using a certain charcoal, if you're using a certain sauce, certain cooking utensils, partner with them, or either you can put your business or your name on the list as a demo. Hey, Cheryl and Terrence, I right now don't have an LLC, LLP, but you got a social security number. So for right now, you have to be sole proprietorship.
No. You don't
want the business so you can get the funding.
Business. You as a person.
Did I give you a heart attack?
Yes, you did. You can tell them to put that in the sole proprietorship. They can be sued.
Well, you do have to take the liability. You need to get started.
You can be a single member limited liability corporation.
Okay, I'll go with that.
You can do that, and you can set it up anyway, whether you want to have it as a flow through partnership, or you can have it as a separate entity where that is viewed as a corporation. So look, you don't want the liability, because basically this is what you're thinking. I am going to be a multi-million-dollar corporation. I am going to be a multi-million-dollar corporation. So that's why you have to think about, I have 2 of my own sauces. Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
one is vinegar based. Okay, so your differentiation point, especially for people with hypertension, definitely would be the vinegar-based sauce.
Separate your products.
Separate your product.
Everything a product line.
Separate your product line. For individuals in the local area, going to those that are friendly with who focus on um, being friendly towards small businesses, like your outposts, those that would allow you to go in there, asking for a test day or to be a part of their sample day. Those are things you can do to start building your population. Going into small stores. Partner with your local community store or say, hey, I want to offer free slices of brisket or something like that to your customers on a nice Saturday, and pass out your cards and things like that, and see if you can get an exclusive in their store on a market special.
Right.
So instead of going to the big market, do a lot of small markets in order to get the quick cash.
All right, but before we go any further, before we go any further, every person that is on this live or is going to look, every person that's on YouTube, the channel, every person that is looking at this, and you have a business, you should not be saying anything unless you have a business formed. You should not be doing anything business related in your name. You should already have your, because I'm saying this because I run across so many people who've had businesses for years and don't have a legal business name, a legal business entity.
I know people who have.
Because you have to have, this is critical, you have to have your EIN, your employee identification number, and you have to be legally registered in the state. You have to be legally registered in the state and in good standing. So make sure you pay your annual fee to your business, because you know what we do? We look online to find out if you're in good standing. This lady almost did not get her approved loan because she didn't pay her annual fee to the state.
Orlando.
Of I think it was $10 or $15. She almost missed out on several $1,000s loan because of that. If you have not formed your business entity, hurry up and do it. Also, what is going to be very key, and this is basic stuff, because you can't deal with value proposition until you deal with the very basics of business. Everything, and I want people to type everything in the line. I want every business owner to type everything in the line and on this live in your comment section.
Can we end the class though, Priscilla? Did we do okay?
Everything that's related to the business needs to be done through the business and in the name of the business.
So on YouTube, depending on your business, if you are in the financial arena or in healthcare or certain area industries, you do have to be bonded by contract. Now, you also need to look at.
I'm sorry, I have to, because this is the practitioner part. See, you ready to teach some more?
No, I was just answering her question.
Really, because you have to, and I'm going back through this. I understand. The practitioner part, because because she's ready to teach some more. She's ready to teach some more. I know she's trying to talk to another business owner about the bonding, but I can't. You have to understand this. Nothing. Again, I have to reinforce this. Nothing that's related to your business should come through your personal account. Nothing that's related to your business should come through your personal account. Because what we're going to be looking for is your business banking. I'm going to look at that. We may look at your personal banking account as backup, but I want to see what is your business producing, because your loan and access to capital is going to be based on the revenue that's produced through your business. So if you're making money and you're putting it into your personal account, that means nothing to me. That means nothing to someone, a financial institution. That means nothing to a chamber. We are looking at what is flowing through your business. Because if you're commingling the funds, that means that you're not handling your business as a business.
Right. Nothing through, right, should come through YouTube. Nothing should come through. Well, and the other thing is, uh, he's going to get me for saying this, and then we'll cut it up. So you're good, Priscilla. Give me hearts and let me know if we can end class because class is a little long. Um, when we were, people also like personal testimonies. We did not, when we lived in Bethlehem, we ran our businesses out of our home, but we had a suite, guest suite over the garage. So we had 2 offices in there. And our business was not in a separate place. And the reason I'm saying this is to get your mind to expand. You can run your business out of your home, and we at the time were not at $250,000. So before we even started making $250,000 in business revenue, the credit union had already put our vehicles in our business name. We got new vehicles and put them in the business because he was in real estate and I was a consultant and we had to drive. So we needed we used our car more for business than we did for personal.
Right.
That was an amazing blessing.
That's another session.
And an entirely different session, but I want to put it out there because it can happen. So when they go on social media, they're looking for your business page. They're looking for, whether or not you are a writer or motivational, inspirational author. That's what it's called. So now you know what it is. So if you have a page and you're just doing different sayings, you're starting off as a motivational, inspirational thought thinker or a relevant voice. Those things are literally new positions. And we now in scholarship, we are teaching and training our students for positions not yet created in the next 30 to 40 to 50 years. They're not even here.
You're going on another whole.
Okay, I'm going on a whole nother, but I'm letting you know that you cannot get stuck thinking that you are in an irrelevant time. So I just wanted to say that. Do you have to get a loan to start a business? What about if you... No, you don't have to have a loan to start a business.
No.
You don't. Some people have no money and they have to just start with what they know and work small and work their way up. So you don't have to get a loan. You just need to be registered and be authentic and be true.
You know how we started our business? Out of several paychecks.
Right.
And we allotted a certain amount to start the business.
Right.
That's how we started. As you grow and as your business start to grow, you recognize, wait a minute, my income is not, I don't have enough income, so I need to really go beyond. It's to get a loan so that I can expand, so I can scale up and do it in small pieces.
Right.
You don't have to take the whole big chunk.
But definitely, the big cuss on the value proposition was the branding, where even if you are working somewhere else, you are an industry expert or you are very knowledgeable, build a separate page and share that industry knowledge and start building followers. Our friends are our fans, okay? But in order to build that and to increase, when they start saying, what's your following? How many people do you hit? Then you have some evidence to show, because it's all about influence. Even with getting business loans, getting contracts, how much influence do you have? You may not come in as a major player. You may come in as a subsidiary, and that's a whole nother level, but it works. All right, we're about to sign off.
I can feel you was about to.
We're about to sign off. All right.
Meet us next week, the Scholar and the Practitioner, the new S&P, every Monday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will be here. If you've been on this live, share this with someone, share this with a fellow entrepreneur. We will love to have you there. Like this page, like our page, Terrence and Cheryl Moore on YouTube, and you'll see us here next Monday, 7 p.m. I am the Practitioner.
And I'm the Scholar, and I'm going to also say, I'm just feeling I just pray for those who are in business right now and just call you out of a crippling place, call you out of the ditch of despair and being despondent, that your gift will make room for you. And we call that room to come forth as your reward. Be faithful, be focused, and be fervent in the way of God. We, God, now come together as a community praying not only for business owners, but those with the ideas that will ignite, God, the creativity within them, God, to not only eradicate debt, eradicate being hostage, eradicate being stagnant. God, let there be a release, God, of intentional creativity. And this is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. I felt somebody needed that encouragement.
Amen.
You can do this. See you later. Bye.
Yeah.